Hello, study buddies. It's your casual nerd here, back to talk more about the Emperor of All Maladies. So in the early half of the 1900s, medical advancements were booming. Antibiotics were being discovered, including chloramphenicol, tetracycline, streptomycin, and most notably penicillin, which was discovered by bacteriologist Alexander Fleming in 1928 and was used to its last drop during World War II and even being re-extracted from treated patients' urine in 1939. By the 50s, however, penicillin was being mass-produced to the point where it only cost 4 cents a dose. Other medical discoveries at that time included the polio vaccine, which was created by Jonas Salk in 1955. This was the first polio vaccine, which was injection-based, and Albert Sabin, who developed the first oral polio vaccine in 1961. Due to increased hygiene efforts, previous diseases were also starting to dwindle, such as tuberculosis, whose numbers halved between 1910 and 1940, and typhoid fever due to municipal cleaning efforts of water supplies. Alongside this, hospitals proliferated. Between 1945 and 1960, roughly 1,000 new hospitals were launched in the U.S. While cures to all of these diseases seemed to be progressing at an exponential rate, cancer was not. At the time, cancer could only really be treated if it had not yet metastasized. So back then, the options would either be surgically remove the tumor or treat it with radiation. So why wasn't cancer progressing? It wasn't just a medical roadblock, but also political. In 1907, a group of cancer surgeons created the American Association for Cancer Research to lobby Congress for more funds. By 1910, they convinced President Taft to propose to Congress a national laboratory dedicated to cancer research, but it got put on hold due to lack of political support. In the 1920s, Matthew Neely, serving his first term in Senate, noticed an increase in cancer mortality in the most recent decade. Neely famously asked Congress to advertise an award for $5 million for any information leading to the arrest of human cancer. For the headache he was causing Congress, in response they gave Neely $50,000. So only 1% of what he was asking for, which was basically a slap in the face. In 1937, after Neely was re-elected, he tried again to face cancer in the political space. What was different about this time, however, was that cancer awareness and anxiety in the general public had become much more apparent. By August 5, 1937, President Roosevelt signed the National Cancer Institute Act, creating the NCI, whose goal was to conduct cancer research and education alongside with an advisory council of scientists. This would include providing a top-of-the-line laboratory space for cancer research. However, just after the NCI campus was built, priorities began to shift as the nation headed towards World War II. A Marine hospital in Baltimore, which was set to become the NCI's Clinical Cancer Center, was then repurposed into a war hospital. Additionally, funding was reconfigured to more wartime efforts, and in the face of this, social pressure for a cure to cancer diminished, and the new NCI campus was abandoned. Despite this frustrating standstill in cancer research, overall the medical world was actually looking up. By the 50s, we had double the amount of medical resources that we had a decade prior, and the life expectancy in the U.S. had drastically risen from 47 to 68 in half a century. If anything, these advancements allowed more focused efforts to be made in the future for solving the mystery of cancer. Thank you for joining me here on The Casual Nerd, and I'll see you in the next one.